know where that sample's from?
No.
That song, the Hey Lover, Hey Love.
This is more than a crush.
That sample, na 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 na.
Is it from like a love story?
That's from Michael Jackson. It's from Thriller.
From Thriller?
From the album Thriller. The Woman in My Life, is it called? Yeah. LL has some serious hits.
Are we recording or no? We are? Oh, okay. No, because I can't hear myself. That's
okay. You know what's funny? You want to know a funny story about LL? So, I mean, obviously, I grew up in his music. Tell me a story about Todd Smith. I grew up in his music. But he was one of the first people that had a remix. And the remix was in the album version. And I had the album. And I'm like, where is this song? And it was one of the first singles that the remix was totally different than the original. Do you remember what song it was?
No.
I mean, I played this song hard during high school.
It's not Mama Said Knock You Out.
Who do you love?
It's sure? Different on the album.
Lounging on the album, completely different song.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is it more about lounging?
It's about hanging out. But you know what it is? It's episode 349 of Pero Let Me Tell You. Ding, 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 ding. Next week is 350. Oh, yeah, I'm on a roll again.
Next week is 350.
350. Wow. That means that we had hot wings
50 episodes ago.
You know what? You know what would be fun?
Well, many things.
I mean, it would have to be in 50 episodes and for episode 400. You know what would be fun? We have Junior Cam today, right?
Yes.
It would be fun to do the Hot Ones challenge again with Junior.
I'm not doing that again.
Okay, me and Junior.
Ooh.
Are you down, Junior?
And
I'm not doing that. What is it? The
bomb.
The bomb. No. No, I'm not doing the bomb again. You would die,
Junior.
No, Junior would die.
No.
I would probably die.
No, Junior would die.
Okay, you know you're right. No, we don't want to put Junior in that.
Yeah.
Can people with irritable bowel syndrome?
No.
Okay,
no. My bowels became irritated.
So I'm gonna have to sit that one out then. Okay. Yeah.
Junior, but you know, you've seen the Hot Ones challenge.
100%.
Have you seen our episode of the Hot Ones challenge?
Yes.
With Darwin?
With Darwin Figueroa?
Yeah. Okay. The bomb, you know, I think it was the 7th one we did.
It's in the middle.
Right. It is that bad. Like, it
has no redeeming qualities.
The thing about it is that it's terrible, but it doesn't go away. It's like 10 minutes of pain. Because it's not like, okay, when you have the wing, you eat it, and a minute later, okay, it's gone. It's like 10 to 12 minutes of agonizing pain.
And then it's just there. And when you think it's gone, it comes back. It's like a hemorrhoid.
I don't want.
No. I don't want to be responsible for that. No.
Oh, it'll be fun to have like a cultura, you know, like all hands on deck, you know.
To just try the bomb.
Yeah, like all of us get together and try the bomb.
I did it once.
I know I could do it.
As a segment, I vote yes. And then just have me take a bite. It immediately goes to rest in peace, Junior. Immediately after that, because in the arms of an angel. Se jodió la cosa.
I thought that was for dogs.
I think Sarah McLachlan will make an exception for Junior.
I've always said I'm like a dog, very loyal, very excited to see everyone. You know, so
you like to be scratched behind the ears.
It's the spot.
Yeah.
What dog would you be?
Man, probably like a American Bulldog, probably a pit bull American Bulldog Rottweiler, something that looks intimidating but is actually just a big teddy bear. Like my dog is an 80-pound American Bulldog that is literally a house hippo is what we call her. So shout out to Luna. Love you.
That would be a good one. What dog would you be?
I'd probably be something stupid like a Lopso Opso.
I've been told from time to time that I look like a Saint Bernard.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Junior, can we get one of those little keg things to put around his neck? Just
next episode. Como Beethoven.
Exactly. He's just like,
wait, you'd be what?
like a Lopsa Opsu. Something stupid.
A pointer.
No, at least that has a purpose.
I was not expecting you to say that. I thought you were going to say something like, I don't know, a German Shepherd or something. No, you're not German Shepherd.
I would not be a German Shepherd.
No, you'd be something on the you would have hair, not fur, and you'd be sturdy.
Like a rug?
No, you'd be sturdy. You're not going to be soft.
Okay. What dog is this?
Like a Dalmatian.
But a Dalmatian doesn't have like hair.
Right. You would have hair, not fur.
No, that's what I'm saying. So what dog would this be? You said like a Dalmatian,
No,
but
you would have hair, short hair.
Oh, short hair.
Not
okay.
fur, like a Saint Bernard.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, I've been told by different people at different times in different states that I look like a Saint Bernard. That I remind them of a Saint Bernard.
What kind of polls are you taking?
Well, because it wasn't like, okay, the three of us got together and like, you look like a Saint Bernard. It's like different people at different times. So we're like, if you're a dog, you would look like a Saint Bernard. I was like, okay.
Were any of them random people on the street?
That would be fantastic.
Oye, tú me recuerdas un Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard.
You know what that reminds me of?
Now I want that to happen.
When Tristan was like, I don't know, 3 or 4, I don't know, it was COVID. It was a weird time. Tristan used to crack up watching Billy on the street. But let me tell you something.
No clue what was happening.
Billy on the street is hilarious.
Billy Eichner is a cartoon. He is a cartoon, so I understand why a 4-year-old would be entertained.
Like, why does he talk so loud? It's so exciting. I'm like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Because he's on the street.
Listen, was that all real?
I assume so, yeah.
Okay.
I assume so because let's face it, the only way to get a New Yorker's attention is to be loud.
Tell people to shut up. Billy Eichner, man.
Oh, Billy Eichner.
Billy on the street. So now that we've found what dogs we would be.
Yes.
How are you doing this week?
I'm doing as well as a lapso can be.
I love watching the dog show on Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's great.
It's one of my favorite post parade things to do.
Yeah, it's great. No, you would be a pointer.
A pointer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sturdy, dependable.
But you make me sound like a Miata.
No. Miatas have rotary engines. They're not.
Okay.
Miata. There's
wait, sturdy, dependable Volkswagen?
Farfanugan? No. Oh yeah, people laugh at Miatas. Miatas are like really collectible cars. They have car clubs that just
really.
Yes, Miatas is one of the few cars that are a roadster with a rotary engine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Miatas are no joke.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry to the Miata community.
Justice for the Miata. I mean, I wouldn't drive one, but I wouldn't fit in one.
I didn't mean to offend our Miata drivers that are listening to us in a Miata right now.
Justice for the Miata.
Yes. Who knew?
Anyway, so what's going on with you this week, huh?
Well, this week, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say, as some of you may have, are listening to this, or we may have already had our Lucy Lopez Day.
Yes. Oh, yes. So
this is premiering on Friday, June 27th.
Which is Lucy Lopez Day.
Now officially Lucy
at least here in Miami-Dade County. But really, it should be something that's celebrated everywhere.
I mean, I think we should send it into space.
Because if anybody should be celebrated, it's Lucy Lopez. Yeah. But we're really, really happy. Yeah. For those of you, especially here from South Florida, and know sort of the legacy of Lucy Lopez, she's one of the most iconic, legendary DJs from Power 96, which is a very iconic and well-known radio station down here. And we met Lucy 8 years ago when we started the podcast, and we became friends with her. And immediately after we met her, we were like, this girl deserves her flowers. And we tried for many years to get this done, but it finally happened. Yep.
But listen to our interview with her on Wednesday. And
next Wednesday, our Jangueando episode is going to be with Lucy.
With Lucy Lopez. Yeah. At this point, I think she's the person who's been on the show the most after Tristan.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Because she's been a guest and she's guest hosted.
Yeah. When you go to Italy for 2 weeks or 2 months, I get to guest host.
she's like, go on more vacations.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know we say this every single year.
Pero es un calor.
Yes.
Hace un calor.
I know the temperature reads inside the car are not accurate.
Right.
I know this. So don't come at me when you tell me that's not really how hot it is. But the other said they said it was 121 degrees in my car.
Were you baking a chicken?
No.
Listen.
I mean, thankfully, I could remote start the air conditioning in my car from my phone, but
it's bad. It's bad. It's just funny though when I see like this week in New York, I think it was at like 86 or something, and there was like heat warning, and I'm like, y'all cute.
No, but let me tell you something.
Listen, I'm just saying. Here it's in the 90s, and we don't. I don't know. Like we're sturdier.
No. But let me tell you, I don't know if this happened to you when you were in New York. In the Midwest, this is why you hear so many people dying in Chicago from heat waves. In the Midwest, and this happened to me when I lived in the Midwest. They, in the summer it's hot. It gets to the high 80s, 90s.
Fine.
Whatever. But they have heat waves, which it's like a front of heat. And I remember there was a day in freaking Michigan that it was like 110 degrees.
Wow.
Right. And remember, this is not a place that it's hot.
Right. So they don't know how to deal with it.
Air conditioning isn't in Michigan what it is in Florida. Insulation, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's not what it is here. That I remember it was so hot that like I went to the mall. Like I could not be in my apartment because my apartment had the air and the unit air, not central air. And like that is how hot it was.
Yeah, and there's only so many BTUs.
That's why you hear oh my God, the BTU. Oh my God. I remember before my parents, did you always have central air?
No.
I got central air when we were in 9th grade.
I think we got it like right after Hurricane Andrew because there was damage to the roof, and
I got it when we were in 9th grade. So prior to us getting central air, my parent had this enormous air conditioner in the family room to cool the whole family room that it had like, I don't know, 20,000 BTU. And that thing was so loud. It was as loud as a tractor that it's like, yes, your living room, your family room was now colder, but you could not talk because of the air conditioning.
You can either speak or be cold.
But you know what was the best feeling? That's in the middle of the shot. You should know now.
Because I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at you. I'm concentrating on
but you should put it on the side. You should know now what your angles are.
On our
right,
conversation.
Junior?
I'm focused on you.
Yes. Y con pomo la botella ahí en el medio de
your scintillating topics.
Okay. You know
episode what again?
You know what is like the best?
Mentira.
What was the best feeling when you had that unit air? Like an air conditioner in every room, and then the common areas of the house didn't have the air, pero cuando entrabas al cuarto tuyo y tenía el aire acondicionado puesto, it'd be like,
yeah, because it was always the bedrooms that had the ACs. Yeah.
And I don't know that the unit air, the air that you would put in your window,
it was just different.
It was a different type of air conditioning. Different kind
of refrigeration.
I felt it was like
it was crisper.
No, it was like more. It wrapped you more. It was
like an enveloping cold.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was chunkier.
It felt contained.
It was chunkier
air.
Yeah, chunkier air.
Chunkier refrigeration.
Yeah, everything got cold. Like la sábana estaba fría. Los muebles.
Everything just felt
el colchón.
Yeah, like as a whole.
Everything was colder.
Yeah.
It just had a little thing.
You know what? I agree.
It was chunkier air.
Chunkier air.
I remember we would always buy our air conditioners, our wall unit at Sears.
I don't remember.
They were Kenmore.
Kenmore.
Porque eso tiene garantía de vida.
Claro.
I'm sure if you still take it to the few remaining Sears.
The one.
Well, there's a few. I think there's 12 in the country.
Well, okay, I'm saying one here.
Here, yes. You will get a new diehard screwdriver.
I don't think that's a good trade.
Why?
An air conditioner for a screwdriver?
No, if you take a screwdriver, because those things had a lifetime warranty.
Yeah, Craftsman.
Yeah.
Craftsman.
Yeah. Whirlpool.
Yeah. Craftsman was the tools. Diehard was the battery.
Mm-hmm.
Kenmore, todos los appliances.
Los appliances. La lavadora y secadora.
You always bought them as a set.
I'll never forget that my parents used to buy or bought the washer and dryer at like the Sears outlet that used to be in Doral, where they would sell like the floor models and all that. And I'll never forget that on August 12th, 1992.
You will never forget it.
It was August 12th, 1992. Right. They bought the new ones and they were so happy. I just want you to, if you're a Miami OG and you're over the age of 35, you know what happened a few days later.
They were no longer there.
They weren't. They were like 3 houses down after Hurricane Andrew. And can you believe our neighbor came knocking on our door so we could go pick up our washer and dryer?
Well, I mean, they were practically brand new.
No, they weren't. Those things were airborne.
But look how sturdy they were. They landed and they could still be used.
And I was like, how did you know that those were ours?
Porque todo mundo en la cuadra sabía que you guys had bought the new washer dryer.
They probably
saw the delivery
did.
truck.
They get the delivery truck. That came in the back of my uncle's truck.
Okay.
We didn't pay for delivery. You know that I'm still skeptical about paying for delivery. Delivery is sort of how I view valet parking. I could pay for valet. I could pay for valet parking, right? I could pay for it, but the sort of immigrant in me is still like, do I really need to pay for valet parking?
Yeah, my problem with valet parking is if I want to leave, then I have to still wait.
I am the son of my parents. Yeah. I'm still like, do I really need to pay for this valet parking? I could just self-park. Yeah. Why do I need to pay for this?
And I'll take a walk.
That's how I sort of feel about delivery. I'm like, I know somebody that has a truck. Well, now I really know somebody that has a truck. Do I really need to pay the delivery man? I could do it myself.
Okay.
I mean, even if I end up getting the delivery,
but you think about it.
There's a part of you that doesn't matter how much money you will have. There's a part of you that will be like, do I really need to do this? It just doesn't go away.
The pause.
Yeah, it just doesn't go away.
Yeah. No, I get it. Okay. I agree. I concur. Valet and delivery.
That's like, I'll never get the most expensive steak on the menu.
Yeah, no. Like after a while, it's just after a certain price point, like, is it really worth it?
It's like, do I really need to have the $145 A5 Wagyu?
No, because my taste buds probably aren't going to know the difference.
No, an A5 Wagyu,
Darian, what I mean is, at the end of the day,
have you ever had an A5 Wagyu?
I don't even know what an A5 Wagyu is.
You do not know what an A5 Wagyu is? How can you not know what an A5 Wagyu is?
Let's say it one more time. A5 Wagyu.
Okay, so listen. There's two types of A5 Wagyus.
The ones that entertain and the ones that observe.
This is a circus. Oh my God. Never mind. Fuck the A5 Wagyu. There's two types of A5 Wagyus. There's the regular one and there's an olive one that's greener because they eat olives.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you not know the story of the A5 Wagyu?
No.
Okay, it's super interesting. So these are cattle that have a certain fat concentration where the meat is more marbled.
Okay.
Right? Because what makes the steaks good is the marbling in the steak.
Right.
Like, do you know the different categories of the USDA?
No.
They're select, choice, and prime.
Okay.
No, choice, select, and prime.
Okay.
Why do I know these things and you don't? Like, do you not wonder what the USDA sticker little seal means?
No, I just assume it means that somebody looked at it and was like, it's okay.
No. The USDA has 3 categories of beef. Actually, there's a lot more, but the 3 main ones are choice, select, and prime. Okay. Right. Most of the meat that you buy at like major chain supermarkets like Publix, it's select. Okay. So that's like mid-grade. But sometimes if you look, you can get a prime steak under a select seal if you look at the marbling. The cheaper supermarkets like Presidente and all that type, they'll sell you choice barely if it's USDA.
It barely had a choice.
And then when you go to like a steakhouse like a Ruth's Chris or a Prime 112, a Morton's, they have prime cuts, right? USDA prime. So all that is based on the marbling because marbling is fat. Fat is flavor.
Right. That much I know. That I know.
An A5 Wagyu, it has so much marbling on it that I don't want to say it's a 50-50 ratio, but it has a significant amount of marbling in it that the steak is so rich, it's like eating butter.
Oh, okay.
So then within the A5 Wagyu world, there's 2 types. There's the regular one and there's the cows that are fed olives and special, like have a very special feed. And then that beef has a little bit of like a green tint to it. And that one's supposed to be even better. But then also the Wagyu, you have to know where it comes from. The good Wagyu comes from Japan. Right. Australia has also had a very significant Wagyu market. And the US is trying to catch up too. But the one that is copying is China. China is producing their own.
Sorry. It's just like, man, we went down a Wagyu rabbit hole.
Never mind. Junior, do you care about steaks?
Pero let me tell you, where's the beef?
The thing is that I'm just like leaning back and I'm just like, I don't like you just ran. Like,
do you people not know about beef cuts?
No. Meanwhile, I want that to be a T-shirt with him, like Darian's face, just like, do you people not know about beef cuts?
So you go to the store and you see all these different types of meats and you don't know what is what and what it's for. ¿Tú no sabes lo que es carne de guisar?
¿Carne de qué?
De guisar.
Gizzard?
No. ¿Tú no sabes lo que es carne de guisar?
Maybe in English I know it. What is carne de guisar?
Do you know what carne de guisar is?
I feel like I do.
What is carne de
¿Qué
guisar?
carne de guisar?
Oh man. I feel like I've had guisado de huevo.
Okay.
Is that still in the same?
What's wrong with you people? Carne de guisar.
First of all,
Carne de re. It's carne de re. We're talking about beef.
Okay.
I know.
Carne de guisar is usually cut in chunks because it has a lot of connective tissue. That's generally beef that is very hard. So carne de guisar is to stew.
Oh, so it's stew meat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I know what stew meat is. I don't know what carne de guisar is. So don't look at me like I'm growing a second head because I don't know how to say stew meat in Spanish.
Oh, tú en la casa de Cari, tú nunca hagas de Cari te he dicho a ti carne de guiso.
Bueno, yo no, pero a otros sí, pero. Now I know what you're saying.
I was like,
and
stew,
we're back.
It must be
All right,
stew
Ish, we're
meat,
good.
but
We're
I didn't
back.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's why stew meat is really, really cheap.
Okay.
Do you guys want a really good recipe?
I feel like we're going to get one.
Okay. This is amazing. I didn't come up with this recipe.
Okay.
It's called an Alabama roast. Cameras.
Okay.
Listen, you buy a cheap cut of meat. You could buy any type of cheap roast because that shit is going in the crock pot.
Oh, okay.
Right. You get a like a chunk, like top round sirloin or like a rump roast. It doesn't have to be an expensive cut. This is what you do. You put in a stick of butter. You put in one whole packet of ranch dressing of the powder. You put in one whole packet of a au jus, the powder, and you put to taste 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Pericini peppers, the green ones, the Italian ones, and a little bit of the juice. You put that in the crock pot on slow for 8 hours, and what comes out is magic.
That sounds yummy.
It's delicious. It's delicious. So good. It's called an Alabama roast. Look it up, people.
All right. Well, this has been Meat Corner with Darian.
Welcome to your local butcher shop. Who knew I knew so much about meat?
Who knew you knew so much specifically about Wagyu?
Well, because I like to cook. Do
Yes.
you remember that I like to cook?
No. Okay.
Do you know how much content I watch about cooking?
Too much.
Like 75%. I would say about 75% of everything I watch every single day is food related.
That is so much food.
I'm constantly watching.
That is so much food that you're consuming without consuming.
I'm constantly watching people cook. America's Test Kitchen is the greatest channel on earth, and I will die on that hill.
Okay. I'm not opposed to it.
They
I'm
taught
just
me
saying.
how to do crispy scallops.
Okay. I don't know what to respond to that. Like, sure.
So a ti te gustaba el guiso.
Just didn't know how to say it in Spanish.
Guiso garbanzo.
So stew meat. Okay. Yes.
Stew meat.
Stew meat. Yes, I've bought stew meat because I've made stew.
Oh, really? You make stews?
I've made a stew.
Tell me about your stews.
Oh, don't ask me. I just followed a recipe that I found somewhere.
Oh, can I say the butter story, please?
The butter story? The room temperature butter story?
Butter story?
Yes.
Because it's endearing.
Oh, I don't care. I'm dumb as a brick when it comes to food.
Okay, I wasn't going to say you're dumb either.
No. I'm just saying. I'm saying I'm okay with it. Like
So I realize, and I don't mean this to my own horn, I am sort of gifted in the kitchen.
I'm glad he wasn't tooting his own horn.
Hence, I have a chicken business. Well, we have a chicken business. I know, right? That wasn't humble at all. You was trying to be all humble.
Be like, I don't want to brag, but I'm one of the greatest people ever. Like,
okay, I know my way around the kitchen, and I love to cook. I always have loved to cook. He, not as much, right?
I like to cook.
But,
I just don't.
But he
I'm
puts
not
in
that person.
the effort. He puts in the effort, which is half of the battle.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So some years ago, he was really sweet, and he brought all his friends.
Oh, this was during COVID.
It was during COVID, right?
It was during COVID.
Yeah, he was really sweet, and he brought all his friends cupcakes that he had made.
I mean, those were like lemon muffins.
And when I have said cupcakes, they were really dense and really oily. The flavor wasn't off, but they were really dense and really oily rather than being fluffy and moist. And I'm like, I wonder what went wrong here. So I call him a few days later. I'm like, oh, the cupcakes were great, but tell me, how did you make the cupcakes? And he's like, oh, I followed the directions and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and what was your fat content? Oh, it was butter. And I'm like, and tell me about this butter. And I'm like, what did you do with the butter? And he's like, well, they told me to use room temperature butter. And I'm like, okay. And what did you do with the butter? He's like, well, I melted it in the microwave. So it could be room temperature. And I'm like, that's not room temperature butter. That's melted butter. And you were like, but it's the same thing.
I don't have the patience to wait for things.
I'm like, it's not the same thing. I can assure you that melted microwave butter is not the
room
same.
temperature. I mean, it was room temperature.
Well, to begin with, one is solid.
There's that. There's that. Yes. But in my defense, it was room temperature by the time I put it in there.
Oh, it was. It was just liquid.
It was just liquid.
But I love that story because it's endearing.
Listen, I just don't have the patience for certain elements of cooking.
Oh, so you're not doing a souffle anytime soon?
I know. No, not good. No. Also, you have to be very careful with the oven.
One of the things
that's the one thing I've learned about souffles is every time that they make it on a sitcom, the oven always slams the door.
One of the things I've never made that I really want to make, and it's one of like my sort of not Mount Rushmores, but like I really want to make one day is a really
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest. Mount Everest. No. Yeah, Mount Rushmore would mean something else.
Yeah.
My Mount Everest would be beef Wellington.
Oh,
there's a lot of steps to that.
Really?
Yeah, you have to make a duxelle.
You have to make a what?
A duxelle.
That thing for Microsoft Office?
No, a duxelle. It's a whole mushroom sort of paste.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you have to make puff pastry.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then you have to wrap it in prosciutto and mustard. And then roll it. It's a whole thing.
This is already taking...
Okay,
let's leave food.
Let's leave food.
Just the explanation is taking forever. Just talk about... Do you know why that is? Because
I just want to say that we finished the learn part of the show. You all have learned about beef, different cuts of beef, different choices.
You even got a recipe out of it.
And you even got a recipe.
Got a recipe.
We could end the show now. We could end the show now.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen.
We could end the show now.
We're doing, instead of a last soda, we're doing a last meat.
I'm totally down with that.
No invente.
Today, carne a pincho. Coge un tomate, coge una cebolla, carne, tomate, cebolla, carne, y le pones en el pincho.
Oh, Lord. Right.
Mira que freaking Latin people le gusta la carne a pincho.
Well, it's portable. And it lets us keep talking with our hands.
But I feel that a shish kebab and a carne a pincho are not the same thing.
Mm-mm. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. The way that Maria Bila Salazar and Maria Elvira Salazar are not the same person. Nope. They're not. Not the same thing.
Carne a pincho. Okay, what were you going to tell me?
Oh, no,
substance?
No, what about substance? But I kind of wanted to take a moment. And I've been following this well, it's not new. It's been for a while. This Instagram profile called Good CO. So good company.
Oh, I thought Sia, like umbrella. No, not umbrella.
Well, she wrote umbrella.
No. Oh, yeah. No, but I was thinking. Well, okay. But I was thinking of the chandelier.
Yeah. No. Man, she does like things that hang and
I guess.
But no. So look, we're not going to get into any of the craziness that's going on right now. But there's a lot going on.
There is a lot. There's
a lot going on out there, and I saw this and I just wanted to kind of share it with our Pero Primos as like a mental health break situation. One of the things they said, and this is a carousel, and it says, you're allowed to take a break from the news, but don't check out entirely. Mm-hmm. It's important to take the occasional break from the news. Use that time to think, feel, and reflect, not check out completely. Maybe you can take action for local and global causes, call your representatives, attend a community event, talk with people in your life. But the most important thing is use your quote unquote offline time to make your voice heard or share your resources with those most impacted by current events. Take what you see online and put it into action in your daily life. And I just saw that because I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Basically what they're saying is, and this all stemmed from this, the crux of the carousel that they posted is, don't just get your news from social media. Don't just doom scroll. Because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. And what's important is to take in the information and take a step back and sort of process it, as opposed to continuing to because let's face it, our social medias are set up for our algorithms, right? So you're just going to get hit on the head with the same thing over and over again, and it's just going to cause a downward spiral, So I just wanted to share that. I thought it was very important advice to, keep in mind, because things are a little hectic right now.
It is very important. Let me ask you, how do you get your news?
It's such a difficult. The answer to that question shouldn't be as hard as it is, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times what will happen with me is I will see something. Actually, I'll see it on social media, like through like, let's say an Only in Dade or, I never know how to pronounce it. Puberty, whatever. And I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, this is happening. Right. Then I will leave social media and I will go to I'll literally just type in as a heading. I'll just use Iran-Israel ceasefire. I'll just type that and then I'll Google and then I'll see what comes up and then I'll see, all the various people covering it. And then I'll try to, figure out which ones are the ones that seem the most neutral based on the.
So you don't, but you don't have specific sources you always go to?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Not particularly because I feel like if I were to do that, I feel like I would almost be establishing in my mind a sort of bias where it's like, well, I will always go to this one because I think they're always accurate. And I don't know if that accuracy is based on truth or based on my perception. So I try to keep myself mixed up in the sense of I like to get different perspectives on it, right? Because sometimes what I want to hear is not what is actually happening or vice versa. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I get my news. My routine is very, it's the same routine every day. There's 3 sources I always go to. One is very mainstream, one is independent, and one is international. I've always trusted the BBC.
Okay.
Always.
I try to go with the AP.
The AP is one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I check NBC, AP, and BBC. I've always checked the BBC.
You know what I find is helpful?
And
local news, actually.
About a big national thing.
No, but even with national things, because local news doesn't... I feel like the local newscasts are not taking a quote-unquote side, where if you go to CNN versus Fox News versus... You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I mean, there's certain things that even local news relies on the national news.
Fair.
And I read the BBC, both the British version and the American one, because you go to bbc.co.uk and then you go to bbc.com. So I check my news sources in the morning when I get into the office. I'm maybe no more than 10 minutes on it, and that's it. I feel that, especially with how things are nowadays, you need to be very mindful on not only where you're getting your news, but the amount of news that you're consuming, because the world is a very, very, very complicated and dark place nowadays. And some people argue that it always has been. And maybe that is true. But with the amount of media there is nowadays, with your phone constantly on you, there are sources of media that did not exist just 10 years ago. And if you don't pace yourself, you're going to doom scroll. Yeah. You're going to get misinformation. You're going to get very biased and incorrect information. So I think you need to be very practical and tactical on how much you're consuming and what you're consuming. I don't trust not one single influencer, not one. At all. Even if it's an influencer that has my same ideology or my same opinions, I don't get my opinion about other people giving opinions. I get my opinion on, I still believe in large part in legacy media, or from distinguished and reputable journalists. And I do believe they're still out there. But I do think that with everything going on in the world today, you do need to be very mindful in how you consume your media and how much of it you are taking in, because it's a lot. And not only, I think, can it have an effect on your mental health and your state of being, but it could have effects within your circle and your family, because you become so worked up and so angry. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be vigilant or active or,
like they said,
don't
check out
or defend on things you believe in. But I think that nowadays there's just so much that you have to know how to balance that.
You have to pace yourself.
Whereas before, maybe you didn't.
Because before you had the evening news and you would read your newspaper in the morning.
Yeah.
It was very like you got it twice a day, essentially. And that was it. It's so easy to just
Do you read the newspaper?
I Well, I can't remember the last time.
So I was subscribed to the New York Times until maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the last time I picked up a physical.
I was the New York Times because I think there's something about reading the New York Times, especially the Sunday edition.
Well, I mean, that's...
Yeah. There's something about reading the New York Times and the Gray Lady, as they say.
I read that.
Yeah, the Gray Lady. There's a lot going on, but we say this many times, and we'll say it again on our show. There's a lot of things going on in the world today, a lot of darkness, a lot of conflict, a lot of turmoil. Social media can be very overwhelming, and you doom scroll and you think the world is coming to an end. And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. But here at Pero, let me tell you, we do take very seriously what we do, even though we're always joking around. You know, our motto is for you guys to listen, laugh, and learn. And we know that things are really bad out there for a lot of people. And again, there's a lot of conflict. But so many of you reach out to us and tell us and thank us that we make you laugh and we make you have a good time. And we're glad that we could be, as you said, that little bright spot in somebody's commute and somebody's day. You know, there's a lot of places where you can get that type of content and a lot of places where you can, you know, find what you're looking for in terms of news, whatever that is. But here we like to keep it light. We like to keep it fun. There's a lot of content out there that is not, and we're happy we could provide, you know, a little bit of, you know, laughs, a little bit of jokes, and just a little bit of humanity.
We can be that pause button.
And a little bit of fun in the crazy, crazy world we live in today. So thank you, Pero Primos.
Plus, we don't have a really nice kitchen to stand in and tell you what our opinions are.
It's people in kitchens and especially, well, women and even men putting either on makeup or foundation or like.
No. But I'm talking about like the political people. Yeah. It's like, my favorite is this one. It's like, so do you want to know about what's going on right now? Well, this guy and that guy, because they've got a green screen, but that's not it. You want to know the rest of it? Well, I'm going to tell. It's like, you know what? I don't need you to pretend you're Andy Cohen and, you know, like looking like a shark that can't stay still. Like, and also, who are you? Why am I trusting you with opinions in front of your beautiful kitchen island?
There was a content that I saw the other day, and we're not going to get into it because that's not the point of why I'm saying this, but you know how we're saying that you got to be very careful what you consume. There was somebody who was Dominican who was talking about Dominican migration to the United States. I told you about this. Yeah. And was saying how Dominicans didn't come to South Florida but for a certain reason. And he particularly talked about Marielitos. And he said something about Marielitos that was just so incorrect. So incorrect. And I know this because we came from Cuba right around the time of Mariel, and I remember growing up as a kid hearing about Marielitos and about everything having to do with the Maria boat lift and the you know, socially the impact that it had and all that. And this person was saying something that was completely incorrect, and he was saying it in a very measured way. And I spoke to you about it, and I said, you know, somebody watches this video who maybe is not Cuban or is not Latino or whatever.
Or from
Miami and watches this video. And, you know, he was speaking in a very measured way. And they're going to take this at face value. And this is not correct. And I even told you what he was saying in itself wasn't completely correct, but it was missing
context,
all of the context. Which, you know,
the internet does not have any time for context. Yeah.
So, yes, he was saying certain people were being discriminated, but I'm like, Marielitos were all being discriminated. Yeah. Like all of them. Yeah. So there's a, you know, and again, I'm not going to get into the content, but it's like all of them were being discriminated. So, yes, some people were, but they all were because, again, of the whole sort of propaganda that they had built up in Cuba, that everybody that was coming from Mariel were people from insane asylums and people from the jails. Oh, Fidel Castro opened the jails and they're all coming to Miami. That was the narrative.
Vació la
cárcel. Y todo el mundo que vino por el Mariel era delincuente and all that. Scarface didn't help either.
Fair enough.
Scarface didn't help. But again, context is very important when you're having these conversations. And I feel that a lot of times, when certain creators make certain content, they're saying things that are true, but they're leaving out a lot of context.
Right.
So then, is it true? Right?
Right.
It's based on truth, but without context,
If something is
it's not the whole
if
story.
something is half true, is it really true?
Is it?
I don't know.
So,
Junior?
Is it? I don't know.
wait.
What?
That's from somewhere. No, where's that from?
What? The what
Is
book?
it?
Well, I think Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Is it?
Isn't it like where the caterpillar?
No, I'm thinking. Okay, now I know where I'm thinking.
Oh Lord,
I'm thinking.
one of those.
I'm actually thinking Beyonce, but Beyonce based on Bob Fosse.
Okay, keep going.
Beyonce has a video. You don't know the video?
It's not Single Ladies, because Single Ladies is
Make Me Bodied. Make Me Body's video is based on the Bob Fosse video. That it's like, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And then Shirley MacLaine goes, "It's me."
Okay, from Sweet Charity.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Do you like Bob Fosse?
I have utmost respect for Mr. Fosse.
Do you like Bob Fosse Jr.?
Same answer as Ish.
I
All
mean,
the respect.
I think those videos are kind of funny.
Oh, but at the time they were avant-garde.
Yeah, no, like I watched them today and I enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy them. Like, I sort of get it without getting it.
I mean, his choreography is iconic across the board.
So was he a director or a choreographer?
Yes.
Or photographer?
I don't know about photographer, but he was definitely a choreographer and a director.
Oh, you weren't being...
No, I wasn't being facetious. Yeah. He was both. Yeah.
Bob Fosse.
Yes.
He doesn't seem American.
He is, or was.
He was?
He was American, yeah.
I don't know. He seemed maybe like Polish.
No, he
that
was...
came from the mind of a Pole.
No, he was an American original.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get America from Bob Fosse.
I don't think
Born in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
Beat it.
Passed away in Washington, D.C. Doesn't get more American than
There
that,
you
brother.
go.
So,
There you go. From the heartland to the government land.
Wow. And here I was thinking he was Polish.
I mean, he still could have been descendiente de Polish. I don't know.
I don't know. This is his... You know
What is it about him that makes you think Polish?
No, it's not Polish. It's European, and it's Emma Button.
It's not even European. It's British.
Yeah. Actually, now I was deconstructing. I'm like, yeah, it's that video that Emma Button did. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is a great video.
Which is based on one of his his routines. Yeah.
You've never seen the Beyonce video?
No, I don't think I have. No.
It's too late. You don't know Get Me Bodied?
No.
Get me bodied. Get me bodied. You want my body.
Oh, okay. I know the
Get
song.
me bodied.
Yes, I know the song. I've never seen the video.
Naomi Campbell Walk? No?
No.
Okay, well.
Fosse was born in uptown Chicago, Illinois,
Okay, you're one of your favorite cities.
to a Norwegian American father
Wow.
and an Irish American mother.
So,
there you go.
no Polish in there.
No.
He was the fifth of 6 children, for who anyone's counting.
Okay.
Wow.
For
Well, there
anyone
we go.
taking score at home.
So,
He's a very troubled figure.
speaking of troubled figures,
Oh, well, there we go.
so the prosecution in the Diddy case finished today.
Oh, they did.
Yes. So here's what's really interesting. So, since you went to SVU University,
Yes. I know you.
you know that the prosecution puts on their case first,
Yep.
and then comes to defense. Super interesting. In the Diddy case, the defense is not going to call a single witness.
So what are they going?
They're just going to introduce evidence. They're not going to have any testimony or any witness. Not one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
seems a little damning.
No, not at all.
Well, it seems. Here's the thing.
Not at all.
Let me finish. From a jury perspective, I would be a little suspect about somebody who can't find one person to testify on my behalf that I'm not.
Quite the contrary. From a defense perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you don't put anybody up there if you feel that the prosecution did not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh, okay. I would just think, again, I'm thinking of it from the perspective of not even the lawyers. I'm thinking from
Is this where law school trumped SVU University?
I mean, it had to happen eventually.
Yeah.
You know.
Remember, it's a criminal case. So the standard is beyond a reasonable doubt, not a single doubt.
Right.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. So if the prosecution put on their case And you as a defense attorney can stick holes in that case based on demonstrable evidence. So say documents, pictures,
evidence,
text messages, whatever, without putting a witness on the stand. Because the problem is that if you put a witness on the stand, you could impeach them.
You don't want to put a witness on the stand that then potentially the prosecution can cross-examine. And
right, because if the defense feels that the prosecution did not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, you don't want to put a witness on the stand that can be impeached.
Right.
So it's a strategy. They were saying today, because I've been reading a lot about it, that they think the racketeering and the RICO especially charges are going to be very hard to prove.
I do feel like that's the weakest one.
Yeah, it's very hard to prove, and those are the ones that have the most jail time. So obviously the other charges, I guess some people think that there is a better chance that they could find him guilty in. And if they even were to find him guilty, he could get up to 10 years.
Is the sex trafficking is not part of the RICO or?
No, it isn't. It's separate.
It is not. Okay.
Yeah. So they find that if he were to found guilty on that, he could face up to 10 years in prison, maybe with probation and this and that. And he could be out in a few. So, obviously the question is, can he ever rehabilitate his image?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that this is obviously on a less, intense scale, but I think it's an OJ type of situation where it's become such a big part of the cultural conversation that I don't know that he's going to be like, he can't just go on Jimmy Fallon to promote a new album that he's producing without Jimmy Fallon being hey, so is there baby oil in the thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think that with him, no matter what happens with the trial, with the legal part of it, the video with him and Cassie Ventura still exists.
There's that.
And that video, I think there's no coming back from that video.
No, it's damning.
Because it wasn't bad. It was horrific.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any coming back from that video.
Yeah, I mean, even from a perspective of an artist working with him, right? It then becomes
for sure.
Then it becomes so why do you work with
no, for sure, for sure,
who we have proof of, because at that point it's not alleged.
For sure.
So no, I don't think there's any.
To quote him, he's now public enemy number 1.
Yeah, but he put himself in the crosshairs.
Oh no, yeah.
No, I'm saying
to quote him.
But he put himself in the crosshairs. So
you remember that song, Public Enemy Number 1? What, you don't remember that song?
As a song title, I remember it. I don't remember it as a song.
You don't remember that? Let me ask you what you got against me. Is it my house or is it the Bentley? Is it my girl or is it all three? No?
No.
I used to blast that song all the time.
Well, you weren't blasting when I was around, I guess. I don't know.
That song came on in 2000. That was from his album PE 2000. That one, that album had the D, the I, the D, the D is Diddy. No, actually, mentira. That album, the Diddy one was later. Was the Saga Continues, which was the first album that he went under Diddy. The PE 2000 has this is gonna ruffle some feathers. One of my favorite songs of his. One of my favorite.
It's with R. Kelly, isn't it?
It's with R. Kelly.
Of course it is.
He don't understand you like I do.
No, they understand each other perfectly.
You don't remember that song?
I do.
So. Because I could promise out of real love, and I could promise anything that I do.
Well, I guess
just to satisfy you.
If there were two people who understand each other, I guess it's Diddy and R. Kelly.
Donatella Versace comes out in that video.
I use baby oil for different reasons.
The song is so good, though. I hate to say it, but it is. It's so good.
You're separating the art from the artist.
No, I'm gonna, because that song is so good. Do you know? I think it's one of my favorite songs ever. That's the song by New Edition. Because if it isn't love, why does it hurt so bad to make me feel so sad inside? Because if it isn't love, why do I feel this way?
That was like later New Edition.
Yes, that's on my mind. If it isn't love, that's Johnny Gill.
There you go. Yes,
that's post Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. I'm sorry. That was a good new edition.
You didn't care for the Bobby Brown?
No, I don't care for Candy Girl. No, Johnny Gill New Edition. Johnny Gill New Edition was like straight up R&B. Yeah, they were older, so they weren't, Mr. Telephone.
That's
Man.
the thing. Is like also you're not gonna have a bunch of 12-year-olds talking about like freaky baby.
And that same album has one of their best songs. Can You Stand the Rain?
Oh, that's such a good song.
That song is so good. Can you stand the rain?
Did you see who's going on tour together?
Who?
Brandy and Monica?
Wait, what?
Yes.
What? I just want to say, I've always said it.
That was a very, very honest reaction.
I'm 100% Team Monica.
I know. We said it the other day.
100%.
Last week?
100% Team Monica.
See, again, we talk about it last week, and this week they go on CBS to announce the tour.
Okay, we're going. I'm going.
I don't know what cities are going
No,
to.
I'm going. I'll go alone. I don't care. I'll go.
I'll go alone. I don't know what cities are going to.
I'll go alone.
Okay, no, you go alone. Have fun.
Yeah, no. If nobody wants to go with me, I'll go. You don't want to see Brandy and Monica?
But I haven't said yes or no. I'm just saying I don't know what cities are going to.
So are you Team Brandy or Team Monica?
I don't know. Because like a part of me wants to be Team Monica because I'm a little scared of her.
Yeah.
But then Monica will kick my ass if I say I'm Team Brandy. So like, but I think I'd probably be more Team Brandy because I'm just,
of course you are.
I'm more like, well, that way.
What?
Junior, Brandy was Cinderella.
Junior, are you Team Monica or Team Brandy?
I'm going to go Team Brandy. I'm going to go Team
Why?
Brandy.
Do you think she has more hits?
I grew up with Moesha.
Okay.
And closer to just that Brandy banter between Moesha and Brandy. But that's no disrespect. Those are two queens in my eyes. Also, Monica, I don't know if they're still married, was married to a basketball player, Shannon Brown.
Yeah.
And he was on the Heat around the time that I was working.
Oh.
So nicest family
Did
in
you
the
see?
world.
You saw Monica?
Yeah, nicest family in the world. So
Oh.
shout out. And I've heard wonders about Brandy as well. So again, two queens.
No, we don't hate. We don't hate Brandy.
No. It's just one of those like, you know.
Yeah. So I guess
Brandy's Full
Brandy
Moon
for me.
Full
Brandy
Moon
for
album is one of the greatest R&B albums ever.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Monica.
Yeah. Again, Monica just seems sassy.
Never thought I'd be afraid. No. Sassy's not the word.
I'm gonna go with sassy just to be nice.
No. Monica seems like the type that will punch you in the face. That's why I like Monica.
That is also true.
Cincinnati, Ohio, October 16th is your closest.
That's the
venue.
closest?
They're not even coming to Georgia?
Or Tampa?
Well, let's see. Atlanta, Georgia, Halloween.
They're not coming closer to that?
Doesn't look like it. Alabama.
No.
They're going to Birmingham.
I'm not going to
Columbia,
Birmingham.
South Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina.
No, they're not coming down.
Let's hope they
Virginia.
expand the tour.
Let's see.
Nowlands.
They're not.
They're going to Chicago.
Yeah, they're not coming to Florida at all.
But nope, no Florida. Georgia's your best bet there on Halloween or Ohio.
Monica has this song called Bittersweet Symphony. It's a great song. Never thought I'd be afraid to trust somebody that I love so much. Man, kids don't realize today the chokehold The Boy Is Mine had in the summer of 1998. That song was,
inescapable.
Yeah.
Like there's just no other way to put it. It was inescapable.
Yeah, it was. Do you remember Monica's first song?
Wait. Is that the one about being like?
Don't take it personal.
There we go. I was gonna say the one about her being on her period.
Okay, that's not where I was going with that.
Just one of them days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember Brandy's first song? I Want to Be Down.
Oh, okay. I was putting a total blank on that one. At least with Monica, I remembered. I knew where I wanted to go with Monica's. I couldn't remember Brandy's at all.
I Want to Be Down.
Yeah. Monica's first song was basically about her having PMS.
That's not where I went with that.
Really? Because it says it's just one of them days that a girl goes through.
I don't know.
I mean, seems pretty cut and dry to me.
I don't know why I just thought about Skilo. Actually, I do know why I thought about Skilo.
Because you wish you were a little bit taller.
No. I wish I was a baller. Because all those songs came out around the same time. Man, talk about a one-hit wonder.
I wonder what he's doing today.
I don't know, living off those royalties. I hope he wrote that song.
Maybe he's a fan of our show.
Skilo?
Do you ever stop and think about I know there has to be some random ass celebrity out there who listens to our show, and it's going to be the most random person that we've never even thought.
It's going to be Skilo?
Could you get more random than Skilo?
Snow.
Informer?
Yes.
I like to think our show does well in Canada.
He's Canadian?
Yes.
Yep.
You're learning so much today.
You guys learned about meat?
About me.
I learned about people's birthplace.
Yeah.
Snow was Canadian?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
So where did he get that skill from?
I mean, I don't know. Some people are just born with skills.
You know your daddy shot me down the lane.
I like a boom boom down.
I don't know the words to that song.
I used to know the words to that song.
Why?
I don't know. It's what we did back then.
You know what, though? I have to say, honestly, Informer by Snow, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. The song that I will happily go on record, and I will say it here on the podcast, and you knew me at this time, and you remember that I always hated, I never liked Ice Ice Baby. Never, never. I remember when all of Riviera Middle School was freaking jamming to that song and singing that song and dancing to it. I'm like, this song sucks. And Vanilla Ice sucks. Well, no disrespect, Robert Van Winkle.
Robert, if you're listening.
No disrespect. But I'm like, this song sucks. I never liked Ice Ice Baby. I could proudly say that.
I don't know why. I just don't want to anger Vanilla Ice.
Me neither. Robert, if you want to come to our show, we would love to have you.
No, because he might destroy things.
No, he's not. He's a builder.
Oh, that's true. He builds things now.
Yeah, no,
okay.
Haven't you seen his
he has actually really good.
Yeah,
I think he's in Florida. He has
he's actually really good. Yeah. So if you want to come and talk about home improvement,
that would be great. If we have Vanilla Ice on to talk about home improvement.
I mean, he's fake from Miami, so
that works.
No, I never liked Vanilla Ice Ice Baby. I didn't. I don't know. I guess I liked MC Hammer too much.
Now, there was a rivalry that existed for no reason.
MC Hammer made the people come together. I mean, everybody loved him. My grandmother loved MC Hammer.
Really? No. I'm just trying to picture.
Do you not remember everybody loving Can't Touch
I know,
This?
but I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to picture your grandmother.
My grandmother loved MC Hammer. Yes, really? Because I used to make the videos to send to Cuba, and she would be like, "Ay, pon esa canción."
Oh,
everybody loved Can't Touch This.
That's true. I think it's just because he liked to give money away, and so he was very philanthropic.
MC Hammer had good energy.
That's what I'm saying. He
gave so much energy and so much money that he went broke. But he had like good energy. That's why we pray.
Well, we pray just to make it today.
Wait, what was it? Too legit to quit? I can't.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. Too legit. Wait, what else did he sing?
And then he did the song for Addams Family Values. The theme song for Addams Family Values. And I think that was it. I think that was the last we heard. Because then after that, I think he tried to release like a hardcore rap album. Because then he became just Hammer.
Hammer, yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you remember the name of his album?
Well, I know the first one was Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him.
Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. Yeah.
I don't remember what the second album was
called.
Know
that for years, for probably like 20, 25 years, every time I would stop at a stop sign and I would see it, I'll be like, Hammer Time.
Stupid though.
Junior, you did that too. You did that too, Junior. Every time that I would see around, Octagon.
Was his name? Stanley?
Stop.
Hammer Time. Always.
His name
for
was
years.
Stanley something.
Steamer? Cooper?
I don't think it was that. Stanley Kirk Burrell.
Where's he from? Where was he born?
California?
Oakland.
Because he was the Oakland Bat Boy.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Growing up, so.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 63.
And Snow's real name is Darren, so very close.
He looks like a
very
Darren.
close. He's a Darren.
But does he look like a Saint Bernard?
No. Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Este tiene cara de Greyhound.
I have no idea anything we've talked about on this show.
T-Neck out of that Greyhound.
Wait, how was it too legit to quit thing?
Too legit to quit.
I mean, I know cut it out.
Yes. See, but you know that from Full House.
Is it not only from Full House?
So Dave Coulier, before he did Full House, Canadian, just so since we're establishing everybody's nationalities.
Canadian via Michigan,
right? So he used to do this show on Nickelodeon. It was a Canadian show, but it was on Nickelodeon.
You can't do that on television?
No, it was called Out of Control.
Detroit, Michigan.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I didn't know.
His mother's side of the family is from New Brunswick, Canada.
Right, because Dave Coulier on Full House always had a Red Wings jersey in his room.
That's right.
Because he was from Michigan.
Yeah,
Look, I don't know, maybe he was born in Canada but raised in Michigan.
He attended University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So on the show Out of Control, he basically played like the news, the executive producer of like a news show or whatever that would go out of control or whatever. And so he was the main character, and he would always do cut it out on the.
Oh, so that's not original from Full House?
No, that's a Dave Coulier original, but not
from Full House.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me that he was on Ken.
You can't do that on television,
which is Canadian, and then that is where he would have met
Alanis Morissette,
and that gave us the angriest song ever.
Yes,
I mean, to believe that song is from Joey Gladstone.
Oh, I know.
It's not from Jesse, Uncle Jesse. It's from
It's about Joey Gladstone.
It's about Joey Gladstone. So you never quite know.
You never know. It's always the quiet ones.
Clearly.
That
was a good song. Jacket Little Pill, man. That was a great album.
Yeah.
That was a great time. I'm glad we were alive. And, we were of a certain age when that album came out.
That was what, senior year?
Senior year. That was 9th grade.
Was it?
The song came out in 1994. That album.
Oh. No, sorry. Okay, no. I know what just happened. No. It was
You and Me.
It was the reason that I'm saying that is because I distinctly remember it in a room with Ms. Vasquez, and so I associate Ms. Vasquez. Oh. So yeah,
we used to be together,
and I associate that album with her too because she had it in the trunk of her car
every day together, always.
I really feel
that I'm losing my best friend. Come on, Junior. I can't believe this could be the end. It looks as though you're letting go. And if it's real, then I don't want to know. Don't speak. Know just what you're saying. So please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Hush, hush, darling. Hush, hush. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
When that was done on Glee, was
hush,
great.
Hush, darling. Cállate. Wow, this has been a lot of nonsense.
As per usual.
Are we ready for our last soda?
We could definitely do a last soda.
You know what? Let me just say one last thing about Gwen Stefani. And I'm going to bring this home.
Okay. Bring it home.
Okay. You know how when Cowboy Carter came out, everybody was giving Beyonce shit about, oh, you're not really country. You're not this or that.
Right.
I didn't care for the Cowboy Carter album because I don't care who's making the music. I don't care for country music.
Right.
So I was like, whatever. But she did get a lot of heat for not being country enough for that album. Let me just remind people that she is from Texas. Gwen Stefani did a country album last year as well.
That's right.
And Gwen Stefani is from Orange County, California.
Isn't that like the Texas of California?
The Texas from California. The Orange County, California, you mean Valley Girls? I mean, and she got no heat for that record. So I'm just putting that out there.
If I can counter that though, I don't think she not only got no heat for that record, I don't think anybody knows she put that record out.
Well, that's not you are right, but that's not the point. But I guess because she married country,
right.
And it's like the girl's from Orange County, California. Right. You don't get more anti-country than that.
That's true. But if we can have an Australian country star, I guess a Valley.
Who's
girl.
in Australia?
Keith Urban.
You mean? Oh yeah, well yes. Oh, and there's that.
So
Anyway,
I guess if you can have that, you can have a valley girl, country girl.
Yeah. I don't know. People are hating on Gwen Stefani. Why are people going? I don't even know. Why are they hating on Gwen Stefani?
Because it's the internet.
Because it's bananas.
BANAS.
The shit
is bananas. BANANAS. Man, we used to have to spell for a while there in songs.
We're going first class.
Yes.
Up in the sky. GLAMOROUS. Yeah. There's another one that Fergie spelled.
Yeah, Fergie was like the speak and spell of pop music.
London. What is it? What I go?
London. Wanna go down?
That song sucks.
It was awful. It was the first single off her album and it went nowhere.
Well, it went enough because I don't know.
But then she had to start spelling
to
make the charts.
She should have had a song called Mozambique. Go ahead. With your last soda.
MOZAMBIQUE. Mozambique.
That probably could be a song. With a Thunderpuss remix.
Absolutely. It's also Thunderpuss.
Thunderpuss.
Thunderpuss sounds like something you can take an antibiotic for.
Do you remember Pussyfoot?
From Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I don't even know how to.
Do you remember the Warner Brothers store? Nobody remembers the Warner Brothers store.
I remember the Warner Brothers store. I still have Christmas ornaments from the Warner Brothers store.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think it gets as much love as the Disney store.
Well, because it isn't around anymore.
Do you remember in the 90s when Marvin the Martian just came back?
He just landed.
Do you know my favorite thing about Marvin the Martian that I didn't get till?
That he has no mouth?
No, I didn't understand until I was like, I don't know, my 30s. That the reason why Marvin wanted to destroy the Earth was so he could see Venus. Did you know that, Junior? I don't know. I always grew up watching Marvin the Martian. I never put two and two together.
You never knew his motivation.
So he could see the Venus from Mars. It's like, oh, that's kind of sweet, actually. That's kind of sweet. He was in love with Venus.
I think he was just in love with the thought of Venus.
Well, you know she's got it.
It's true. Yeah, baby. She's got it.
Okay, go on. We could go on in circles.
All right, so I am going to give my last soda to a company that I honestly never thought I would give a last soda to. The shaver, the razor. Because in the past I've had my challenges with this particular company.
You're giving it to Comcast?
Not Comcast, but you're on the right path.
Xfinity.
Nope, you're on the right path in terms of people that I've had conflicts with. I'm gonna give my last soda to American Airlines.
Weren't you damning them the other day?
I was. But
weren't you one of these? I'm so sorry. I'm never flying American Airlines again.
No. I never say that because I have too many points.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a foregone conclusion. I'm just going to bitch and moan to you, give me more points. But I'm giving it to them because, as we are now at the tail end of June and Pride Month, they are standing firm in their support of LGBTQ plus inclusion. So they, at a recent shareholder meeting, American faced a proposal from the National Center for Public Policy Research urging it to exit the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index. The group argued that their longstanding commitment to LGBTQ plus equity might be hurting the bottom line. But more than 273 million shares voted against the measure, with fewer than 6 million in favor. So American's board made its stance clear, leaving the index would offer quote unquote no added value and would go against the positive feedback they've received from employees and customers alike. So you know what? I have to give them credit where credit is due. And obviously I'm giving it more to the shareholders and the company itself. But, I think this is something that you say very, very often, which is like, you want to live your values. And I have to give them credit. Here's a company that very much right now, things are a little cuckoo. And could have very easily said, you know what, yes, let's distance ourselves from anything that's potentially controversial. And their shareholders were like, no, we're going to stand firm in what we think is right and has made us, a leader in this industry. So you know what, kudos American Airlines.
Yeah, things are a little doo-dung.
Crazy. Yeah. Sing it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
I'm going to bring out Melissa Joan Hart.
We're going to have now, for my last soda, we are going to have the learn part
Again?
too. We're going to do more learning.
Is it more about Wagyu?
So I want to share from my last soda, one of my favorite YouTube pages that I urge everyone to go and check out. It's Wired TV. So
like the magazine?
Yeah. So Wired on YouTube has a series of videos called Tech. So what they do is they bring an expert in whatever field and they call it like autism tech, bug tech, ship tech. So they will bring an expert in the field and talk to you about that. And why I think is so important is because now in a day and age of content creators that don't know what they're talking about and do content for shares and likes and outrage and clickbait, there's so much misinformation out there. And this Wired series, they talk, again, they have experts, doctors, whatever it is that they're talking about. They have that expert talk there. Like, for example, the other day they had one that was just this woman talking about boats and knots. And I loved it. She was talking about different navigational knots. Nautical knots.
I'm laughing about something else.
I think knots are very interesting. I'm not serious.
Oh,
Do you know how many ways you could not make a knot in a rope?
No, because I'm remembering that I'm remembering when you told where we were and what we were also looking at when you told me that you had just seen that video.
Okay. Were we in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so like for example, this week came out one about neurodivergent kids or neurodiversity. There's one about American history. There's one about presidential history. There's one about election history. There's one about Vikings. There's one about bugs. That's the one that I showed you one time, that it was this guy that he's an oceanographer and he knows about marine life. And he was talking that the heat emitted from a certain deep water fish is like 10 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Yes, I remember. Okay.
That is from there.
Okay.
So they call it, like, for example, marine tech. There's one about the Cold War tech, World War II tech. So, and again, these are historians, doctors,
like experts
in the field. And it's just so interesting because there's so many topics that you're obviously going to find a topic that interests you. And again, in a day and age where there's so much misinformation and so many people out there just saying crap and trying to, manipulate your mind and sell you things, it's really nice to see content that is by experts, just for general knowledge. So
that's awesome.
Wired TV. With that said, I loved the one about things having to do with ships, and she showed us how to do the different knots. Who knew there were so many knots, that you could do so many knots?
Sailors.
Well, I'm not a sailor, but I love boats and ships.
That's true. You like ships. I don't know if you like boats.
Yeah, no, I'm not a boat person. I'm a big ship person.
Yeah, you're a ship person.
Give me 100 gross tons.
Yeah. All right, then.
Do you know what was the first cruise ship to have more than 100 gross tons?
I think we know the answer.
The Carnival Destiny.
Really?
Yes.
That recent?
Yes, it was 100,000. I'm sorry, 100,000 gross tons.
Wow.
And now the Icon of the Seas has like 263,000 gross tons.
And that's just after the buffet.
Yeah, that could be a whole other episode where I talk about ships. I need to stop now because that's going to turn into a whole other hour where I talk about ships.
That's another rabbit. That's a rabbit hole deeper than the
I
Wagyu.
need to have a ship historian here on the show. So we could have a Hangueando episode that's going to go on for like 3 hours that 2 people are going to watch.
I might be here for that one.
Dude, I love to talk about ships.
And you know what? I don't begrudge you that at all.
Junior, do you care about ships? No.
I think me and Ish will be on a ship for that episode.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we'll do that.
I love ships.
That's how we'll do our ship version of this.
Ships, cargo ships, naval ships, sail boats.
Friendship.
I would love to cross the ocean in a cargo container. Yes, you can cross at a fraction of the price.
I'm pretty sure that's how they do human trafficking.
No. This is done with very respectable companies, and never mind. Anyway, everybody, we hope you.
Wait, espérate. No. We're not gonna hand wave this. A cargo container?
Not living in the cargo container. Okay, a cargo ship.
Okay, no. Here's what you said.
Think I was going to live in the 20-foot container?
Because here's what you said. I would love to cross the ocean in a cargo container.
Okay, I did say that. No. You go on a cargo ship.
Okay.
And cargo ships have cabins.
Okay.
And you can.
No. Okay. Yes, but you said you want to go on a cargo container.
Yes, you could cross the Atlantic on a fraction of the price. Okay. But I would only do it crossing the Atlantic because if you start getting into the other oceans, there's pirates.
In the Pacific?
No, they're not in the Pacific.
Well, you said the other oceans.
They're like in the Indian Ocean and por ahí, around
you
Africa.
Said you only cross the Atlantic, and I'm assuming
because the Atlantic is, what you cross to get from Europe to the U.S. or America. I mean, one of the biggest things in my bucket list is to cross the Atlantic on the Queen Mary too, but that's a conversation for a whole other day. Yeah.
When he has his 3-hour ship conversation.
Oh my God! Don't excite me. Don't excite me.
Let's wrap it up.
You know what though? You were there when we were in LA last year or 2 years ago that I went on the Queen Mary. I'll never forget. This is a really funny story that I told you. Can you just record me for a minute? And I sort of did a whole documentary.
He gave a tour for one.
And you were recording me. You were like,
I was like, I have one job.
It's like a 10-minute video of me just walking through the ship.
And over here, blah, 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 blah. And over there, blah,
I
blah.
think there were people who thought I was an official tour guide.
I'm not entirely sure they were wrong. You just needed a name tag.
That's right. Anyway, well, everybody, we hope you listened, laughed, and learned. And as always, remember to grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your ship.
Don't steal it.
Join us next week. This was a whole lot of nothing today, but you came along for the ride. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.